Hey, it's nutritionist and maintainable weight loss coach Trish here, and this is Take Control Tuesdays, where you learn how to take control of your diet, your weight, and your health. Today, I'm sharing the 5 steps that will make you shed pounds by eating optimally. I'm the author of The Optimal Eating Solution, Maintainable Weight Loss and Longevity, even if you can't exercise. So these are the steps that I take my exact clients through and that I also outline in the book too. So I'm excited to share them with you because they are freaking life-changing. So if you are at the point where you've been trying to lose weight for years and years, decades at this point, you've tried Weight Watchers, you tried keto now, you got leg cramps, your cholesterol went up, you just felt real gross, you lost weight, wasn't working for you, you're on medication, or you're at the point where you know if you don't make a serious lifestyle change that you are really risking your future. And right now you are on the cusp of feeling totally empty and lost inside because you are not living your life anymore. And you know that for you to start hiking again and doing the things that you love to do in life, that you need to get healthier, more energized, more confident, so you can start living again. That's how all my clients have felt for the most part before they've joined the program. So you are not alone, and they consistently drop pounds every single week in a way that they enjoy it. The food tastes good. It's filling. So I'm thrilled to share the 5 steps that I take all of my clients through. Okay. And before I dive in, there's one thing I want to remind you, that all of my clients, they took a leap out of fear. They took themselves out of fear and they took a leap of faith. And I just picked this up for you guys actually right now. If not now, when? Okay, how long have you been struggling with this? When are you going to decide that you are enough and worth it enough to do this for yourself? Okay, so they did that. They made that leap for themselves. Okay, then the very first thing that I do with them is we put an individualized optimal eating plan in place together, okay? Like I said, no calorie counting, no portion control, but also being full and satisfied. Because if you're not full and satisfied, it's never gonna work long-term, right? And when you're full, what do you stop doing? You stop eating. Exactly. When you stop eating, you stop consuming calories. So it's the joy is brought back to eating. One of my recent graduates, her name is Christine. I will never forget this. I love it so much. She said optimal eating is freedom. And she said she feels it for the first time, that it's not a diet, it's a way of living. It is freedom. So we ensure that your eating plan also works for your taste buds, right? And your lifestyle, to the extent you do or don't like to cook, how busy you are. Because if your eating plan doesn't work for the food you like to eat, it's never going to stick long term. And there's so many optimal foods out there. So if you want the generalized optimal eating diet guidelines, definitely pick up the Optimal Eating Solution on Amazon, or go over to my website, trishamandis.com, and it shares the generalized eating plan, and you just have to tweak it to your own taste buds. If you're doing it on your own, that's totally fine. But know that that is there in the book. But that's the very first thing we do, because you have to know exactly what to eat, what to avoid, what to limit, how to still structure treats at the same time, and that could be almost anything, but still reach your goals at the same time. Okay, so that's step number 1, is an individualized optimal eating plan. Okay, and again, I told you where you can get those general guidelines, which could be really, really helpful for you. Okay, the second thing is we work on the habits that you need to implement for your eating plan to stick long term. Okay, so you have to work on changing your behavior. If you want to lose weight with a lifestyle change, you have to change how you live, right? So we want you to be able to eat optimally in any situation that you're in with food, whether it's a baseball game or hiking or vacation or whatever it is. You have to learn, and my clients learn, how to get the right food in their mouth no matter where they are. Okay, and how to make it as easy on yourself as possible to do that, and enjoyable too at the same time. And again, you have to be able to fit it to whatever your lifestyle is. This is not about trying to put you in a box. This is about customizing optimal eating around how you live. Okay, if you have any questions about that, definitely post in the comments. The third step that we work on are your thoughts. Okay, so we have an effective eating plan, number one. The second is habit change and behavior change. And the third is cognitive change, how you're thinking. One, we emotionally want you to feel as good as possible throughout this process. That's why you're doing this, is to feel good, right? But it's also so that the way that you think supports you in eating optimally. So for example, we will identify what we call sabotaging thoughts and then create helpful responses. It's kind of like cognitive behavioral therapy for food. So if you're like, at a party and you're like, oh, that cake looks so good, I just want to eat it, and I'm having a really stressed day, so I'm just going to eat this cake, right? You saying I'm just going to eat this because I'm having a really stressed day, you constantly acting on that thought and engaging in behavior because of that thought. If you do that all the time, it's not going to help you reach your goals. So you have to identify those thoughts and then come up with what we call helpful responses. So your brain will naturally start to change that thinking too. So a lot of people, if you're an emotional eater, changing your behavior is going to help that in and of itself. It's going to make it a lot harder to do that in general. But then when you are in situations where you have less control and that does arise, you having worked on the cognitive piece is also going to help. Okay, so it's a lot more than just counting calories or portion control. Okay, then the fourth step that we work on is putting an individualized exercise plan in place. It's kind of the same thing as the eating plan. However, we got to get your body moving. And right now, if you are in pain, if you are 75 pounds overweight, you might be thinking there is no way in that I could start exercising right now. But that's not what you're focusing on in the beginning, okay? It might be hard to see, but 6 weeks in, your energy is going to be up. It's going to be up a lot sooner than that. You're going to be in less pain. You might have 10, 12, 18 pounds off at that point. It's going to be, you're going to feel like a different person 6 weeks into this. So then putting in an exercise plan in place is going to feel a lot more achievable. So again, it's about meeting you where you're at, assessing what your goals are, and ensuring that your exercise plan is actually going to help you reach your goals. But again, that you like it. And then I always hold my clients accountable to actually implementing it. And if a challenge comes up, we're going to talk about it and we're going to figure it out. And we're going to get you through that so you do reach your goal. And then the fifth step is putting a sustainability plan in place to ensure that you can continue to do this for the rest of your life. I've been eating optimally for a freaking decade. And I can't tell you how many hard things I've gone through in my life that eating optimally has been a foundation for me to be able to handle all these like challenging things that come up and all the good things that come up. And I continue to get leaner and stronger and healthier and happier as the years go on. So I am very grateful that I was exposed to this research at such a young age and that I grabbed onto it and I leaned onto it and went on almost like an escapade and a journey to learn as much of it as I could as quickly as possible. And then I have this gift to share with the world. But the point of the sustainability plan is to make sure that you can continue to do it for the rest of your life, right? That's what a sustainable, maintainable lifestyle change is. And I'll tell you, once you do reach your weight loss or your health goals, there's nothing radically different that you do once you're maintaining weight loss. You do the same thing that you've been doing to get there, to stay there, which is awesome. So if you're stuck in what I call the diet trap right now, you're depriving yourself of you're only having bars or shakes in the morning and you're counting all your calories and your portion control, and if you freaking hate it and you feel hungry, there's no way you're going to keep that up long term. If you despise the process, you are not going to magically become happy when you reach your result, and you're definitely not going to stay there then. So this is what my clients and I talk about all the time. We're falling in love with the process. How can we make you love this, right? All right, those are the 5 steps that will make you shed pounds eating optimally in total. And if you want a more detailed outline of all of those steps, get the book, The Optimal Eating Solution, or go to www.trishastraining.com, and I have a free 1-hour webinar that's up right now that you are welcome and encouraged to go to learn more about optimal eating and the 5 mistakes that you most likely are doing now that's preventing you from eating optimally and losing weight and shedding pounds and achieving those results long term. So now I would love to hear from you. Answer today's Take Control Now question and tell me, which of these 5 steps do you think would be most beneficial for you, and what's hard for you about getting help outside of yourself to reach your health goals? What's hard about that for you? Comment below if you have any other comments, thoughts. As always, I would love to hear them. Get educated, get support, and take control, because you can get the healthy body you deserve.